The Packers needed to keep winning. It looked like they weren't going to keep winning last night at times, but this roller coaster of points, this nonstop explosion with all the points we saw in the second quarter, the Packers end up beating the Bears and holding on to cover the spread. That's one of those things that holds the rating late in the game. The Bears had a couple of chances to beat the number of -12 with the Packers being the big favorites, but the Packers win the game. 24 straight points in the second half, pulling away to get to 10-3. That had to be something, Mike, in the building as the Packers come out in the second half and just take charge of the game.
Well, it was a little bit of a shocker at first what was going on with Chicago jumping out to a 10-0 lead. But again, Matt LaFleur in his first 2 years, he's 0-2 after the bye. So, and every team will do this. It doesn't matter when your bye is. It could be the first bye of the season or like Green Bay, the last bye. You always justify the bye came at the perfect time. Oh, man, did we need this? This was the time for it. Green Bay's had it, but again, the last 2 years they've lost after the bye, and they were going this way. You had to give Chicago credit. That defense held together by duct tape and chicken wire with all the injuries that they've had, and the guys that are out. We thought Akeem Hicks was going to play, then he didn't play, but they came out playing well. Justin Fields came out playing well. The return, Jakeem Grant, what he was doing, returning punts, had that 97-yard punt return for a touchdown, which is a Bears record, was incredible. It really gave them an incredible first half to lead 27-21 with a whole lot of head shaking of what's going on. But you just kind of felt that Green Bay is the better team overall, and they were going to show it. I would imagine the special teams meeting at halftime, and I asked Davante Adams about it. He's not involved in special teams, but I'm sure you could probably hear the yelling at halftime going on of what was happening with the special teams of Green Bay. But that's really what kept Chicago in the game. They were looking good offensively and defensively as well. Had the lead. I think they hit the over in the first half for those, who so want to get involved in that. But then think about this. I mean, the Packers put up 45 in this game and didn't score a point in the first quarter. So they put up 45 points in 3 quarters. It just shows you how quickly they can get the job done. And this was a tale of two teams anyway. One fighting for their past the division, fighting for that number 1 seed, and the other in the Chicago Bears wondering what the future is going to be. Is the same staff going to be here next year? Is it going to be a new staff? Is Justin Fields in his second year going to be working on a second, offense that he has to learn? Because at times he looked really good. But I said this at the beginning of the year, Mike, and I stand by it, both in San Francisco and Chicago. I would have started Garoppolo and I would have started Andy Dalton. You had 2 teams that you wanted to see, especially with their defenses. Would they make a run at the playoffs? And then if they're not going to, you put the other quarterbacks in. Well, we see where San Fran is, but for the Bears, definitely time to play Justin Fields. And he came into this game as the second lowest rated quarterback in the league behind Zach Wilson. And again, I don't say that as a negative. I just say that as a reality to rookie quarterbacks. It's more the rule than the Mac Jones exception that's going on right now. He's going to look great, and he did. He does things, Mike, getting out of the backfield, escaping trouble, making plays, but then he does things that a rookie does. He makes those mistakes. But I'm glad he's out there now, as the Bears are just playing for the future right now, just to see what he's going to do and how he's going to mature and how the game is going to be for him going into next year. We know what the Packers are, and also the Packers are doing this because you don't know how much longer you have Aaron Rodgers to do this. But for the Bears, Jason Peters gets hurt at left tackle. Tevin Jenkins, their second-round pick, the rookie, comes in. That's a guy they're going to rely on. He struggled when he got in there, but now we got some reps. They're building for the future. Whatever that future is going to be from a coaching staff, some of the young players that are going to be on that team. The most important position is quarterback. And the Bears have theirs in Justin Fields, and he could be a special player, but, he's going through the learning curve of being a rookie right now.
But, Mike, you hit the nail on the head. The idea that he possibly is going to be breaking in with a new coaching staff, a new offense, possibly a head coach that will say all the right things in order to get the 5-year or 4-year guaranteed contract. But then once he gets there, he's got somebody else in mind to play quarterback. He was never really a Justin Fields guy in the run-up to the draft. You just never know. I mean, unless it's Peyton Manning, and Tony Dungy walking into the Indianapolis facility in 2002. It's like, hey, how you feel about Peyton Manning? Well, I want Peyton Manning. I mean, unless you've established yourself as a short-lived franchise quarterback, there's a chance that a new coach may not be as warm and fuzzy about you as the coach who traded up to draft you will be. And this is why with the Bears, there's just this ooze of dysfunction that it's like, hey, folks, if you authorize giving up next year's first-round pick to move up to get a quarterback, you can't clean house after 1 year. That's not going to help your quarterback develop. And then you're going to set him back again, and then who knows what's going to happen moving forward. And so we'll know in 4 weeks or thereabouts. We may know sooner than that because of the rule this year that allows teams to begin interviewing candidates from other coaching staffs as long as their coach is gone or knows he's going to be gone with 2 weeks left in the regular season. So we're 4 weeks from the traditional Black Monday, although it starts earlier, just like Black Friday starts earlier. It could start 2 weeks earlier with teams getting in on the opportunity to interview assistants in the final 2 weeks of the regular season. And that may be when we get our clarity about Matt Nagy, that the Bears are going to be looking elsewhere. But Mike, I wish for Justin Fields that he gets some continuity and consistency and doesn't have to start all over again next year.
And I think on the other, there's always the other side of the coin. The thought is this guy's only in his first year. We're going to move on from this. And listen, I never want anybody to lose their job, but that's fool's gold. We know it's going to happen. Matt Nagy came in as an offensive guy. This is his 4th year. He's never been higher than 21st in total offense. So, it's not getting done. So I think the other side of that coin is going to be, while we have this young quarterback still kind of moldable and things to learn, do we bring in somebody more for the long haul and then give him some consistency instead of keeping the consistency of just 1 year and going forward with an offense that hasn't really clicked over the last few years? Do we break this thing up? And even though Justin would have to start with a new group, we think going forward it would be the right thing, because we've seen it before. A young quarterback come in with a coaching staff or with a head coach that brought him in, and then the next year it's going to be gone because it's just not working. And I thought this was going to happen even at the beginning of the season, talking about this. And unfortunately for Matt Nagy and his group, I think it's going to happen here. And I think that's what they're going to do. I do think Justin Fields looks like he has a bright future with what he can do. Again, he's a rookie making rookie mistakes, but at this point, when they're not playing for anything, he's out there learning. This is the best time. Get your reps. Listen, he's gotten his nose bloodied, his eyes watered. He's gotten 3 cracked ribs. And that's what happens. You get knocked around, and how do you come out of it the other end? And I think Justin has a pretty high ceiling.
We'll get back to the game in a second, but one last point I'd like to make, because I was surprised by the reporting yesterday from CBS that the Bears have spoken to Trace Armstrong, a former first-round pick of the Bears, played in the NFL like 15 or 16 years, has over 100 sacks on his resume, became an agent. Reportedly, the Bears talked to him about taking over their football operations. Now, he denied it. He represents Matt Nagy. The report was couched as, hey, he would come in and make all these changes and hire Ryan Day from Ohio State, one of his clients. We also represents Nagy, so it would be a little bit awkward for Trace Armstrong to take that gig. Again, he denied it, but it resonates with me, because if this is something the Bears are thinking about, I wonder how high up it goes. Because we assume that if Nagy goes, GM Ryan Pace is going to go, but Ted Phillips, the president of the team, he's got one of these gigs in the NFL, Mike, where the spotlight is never really on you when the team isn't any good. Now, when it is good, you can find a way to ease your way into it and take credit. But Ted Phillips has survived in that organization for 4 decades. He's been the team president since 1999. He doesn't have much success to show for all these coaches and GMs he's hired. If you're talking about bringing in somebody new to run football operations, it makes me wonder, is Phillips finally going to get moved out of the picture? Because some would argue he's the common denominator between the Bears and all these struggles over the years. So that's why that report really caught my eye. Are they thinking about really blowing it up and starting over? And I think that would make plenty of Bears fans happy, because they're just not all that satisfied, obviously, where things currently are.
Yeah, and then you wonder if they're going to do that, if they're going to bring in somebody new, do they give that person the power to say, I want to keep the staff, or I want to get a new staff, including a GM, or are you brought in under the premise, hey, we're bringing you in and you're getting everybody new? So that it just depends the marching orders that it's talked about if they do in fact hire someone like that.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.